Hey, hello, good morning. Yeah, I know, 8:08, not a normal time for me. I actually got up at 2:30, around 2:30, and after meditating for about an hour, and intended to do a video as early as I usually do, but ended up with some emails, and I had some questions, and the ambassador and I talked. And anyway, the ambassador is going to be doing a video with me a little bit later on today. He already announced the title. What are you going to tell your children? Is what he wants to talk about. And I, of course, will do a video tomorrow morning with Aristo, so I'll be doing 3 videos in approximately 24 hours. This video is one that is actually came from subscribers. The title is Possible Solutions to the Present Stalemate of Frozen Power. And the blurb is this: Friar Newberg, a subscriber to my YouTube channel, posed the following. Number 1, protests in front of local media outlets, newspapers, TV stations with signs. Tell the truth. 2, protests near police stations. Stop the militarization. We are not at war. This is our home. 3, buying strikes. One-day protests where no one buys anything until key objective is met. 4, buying agreements. Signatories agree to buy only local food. 5, get rid of your car. Live somewhere where you can walk and don't need it. 6, protests at stadiums with signs. Switch off sports. Renewing our country is the main event. 7, support Stephen Bassett's drive for ET disclosure through social media. 8, set up a new charity with clear objectives, then crowdfund it. 9, new Skype rooms with relocation objective. 10, relaunch Swiss Indo's best idea, but without wealth promises. George Lincoln, another subscriber, added, that's too narrow, too activist in your face for some here, suggesting these. Number 11, form a Skype room prayer group. 12, make videos on individual ideas to wake people up. 13, make and record protest music, share on the PM, that's Paradox Man 316 channel. 14, organize a conference with RFD and Max Egan as speakers. 15, Ron could start or use a forum and encourage commentary. When I saw that number 14, organize a conference with RFD, I thought, what is RFD? Does he mean RVD, me? Or does he mean Red Fucking Dragon? Honest, that's what came to my mind as to what the RFD stands for. Of course, it's also rural free delivery, and that brings up things for a number of the things that Friar Newberg, who lives, by the way, in Hong Kong, what he suggested. I don't know where George Lincoln lives. But anyway, this rural free delivery, get rid of your car, live somewhere where you can walk and don't need it. That means we'd all be in cities, which are concentration camps where they can concentrate the mind control energy that they already use, but it's more concentrated and focused if we all move to cities where there's mass transportation. So the idea of getting rid of our car will only work in the mind control centers called cities, in my opinion. I'm giving you my opinion, and Friar, please don't get mad at me. But your idea of buy only local food, that will work best in the country or in the suburbs where there's room to grow food. There's not a whole lot of room in cities, although I have seen some very compact food growing possibilities that you could even do in the city if you have a balcony or a rooftop or something like that. But it's much more difficult, of course, to grow things in the city than it is in the country. So some of these suggestions depend on where you live, and they would not be appropriate for everybody. Now, I like the idea of carrying a message to the local media. If you have like I have a newspaper office, Florida Today and Gannett Publications, that's, a few minutes, 10-minute drive, 10-12 minute drive from where I live. I mean, I'd love to see a team of people get together from the local community and go there and request an audience with the key people, the publisher, the editors, and the people that are in charge, and actually engage them, not just pick it outside the place, but actually engage them and get them on the record as to what their stance is regarding news. Are they willing to tell the truth? I mean, I think it would be wonderful if media were required to tell the truth, and they'd lose their license, a TV station or whatever, they'd lose their license to even operate if they did not tell the truth. If you could prove that they were withholding information that was critical to the well-being of the community, hold them accountable for it, and press charges. I mean, if they're not obeying their charter. Now, bear in mind, corporations are supposed to be chartered, and they're supposed to exist for public good. That includes governments, by the way, that are nothing but corporations posing as governments, but they are supposed to exist for the public good. And of course, we know that hasn't been true in my whole lifetime, and even before that, probably. As far as protesting near police stations, I also think that it's a good idea to go and talk to the county sheriff, or to the local marshal's office, or the FBI, or the local police department. Engage the people that are in charge of these groups in conversation and community dialogue. Make them understand, or try to get them anyway to understand the importance of their oaths, that they are here to uphold and defend in the United States the Constitution. And by the way, I'll focus on the United States not only because I live there, but the way the United States goes, the whole world will go. I believe that, because we are the terrorists of the world, or the international police force. Our military is like an international police force. The Dragon family says they own the Pentagon. All right, well, if you own it, control it. Make it do humanitarian things. Make it stop doing things that are not humanitarian, things that are only in the best interest of those psychopaths and sociopaths that want to rule the world and diminish the population and poison everybody and do all sorts of heinous crimes against humanity. We've got to stop that shit. I mean, if we don't stop that shit, no matter what protests we do, no matter what else we do, no matter what band-aids we put on different things or what actions we take, if we don't stop the criminality, none of it means anything as far as I'm concerned. Number 3, buying strikes. The people that are in charge of corporations do not need money. They do not need it. They have a superabundance of it. They've been collecting it and stealing it from everybody else. The people that would hurt the most on a buying strike, in my opinion, is the consumer. The everyday man and woman on the street that needs products and services, and stop purchasing them. I've always laughed and chuckled. If you don't buy gas on Fridays, well, then you're going to buy it on Saturdays. I mean, you think that's going to hurt anybody? I don't see how that's going to have an effect at all. If there was no commerce done one day a week, I honestly don't see how that would have any effect, because it would just, the purchases that need to be made would still be made on following days. Now, stop buying non-essential products would probably be a good idea. Expanding on that. Just stop buying things that you don't need. Only buy what is a necessity. And do that for an extended period of time until the objective is met. I agree with that. Make the objective be met. Say, we're not going to buy non-essentials. Now, could we get everybody to agree on that? good luck. I mean, getting a group of 100 people in Swiss Indo to agree on things was not always easy, and we were basically aligned along similar lines of thought. And yet, even then, getting consensus was not always an easy thing to accomplish. Uh, I already talked about the number 4 and number 5 about buying agreements and buying local food and not having a car. Protests at stadiums. I talked a little bit about the diversion of sports. I used to be very heavy into, when I was a kid, I was really heavy into playing sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. And football, I don't mean soccer, that was a girls' game. Soccer and field hockey were girls' sports when I was growing up. Soccer was not something men or boys did. It just wasn't. It was for girls. I know that's not how the rest of the world sees it, but that's how it was for me. And I was an avid sports. I loved playing those 3 sports. My dad was very much into sports. And even into my adulthood, until about 20 some years ago, I would watch football and baseball and basketball games on TV regularly. I haven't watched an entire game in over 20 years because it was about 20 years ago. Yeah, about 20 years ago that 1994, yeah, that I gave up chasing money and watching television. I have not had a cable television hooked up since 1994. And that was early in the year that I made that decision. So it'll be 21 years in the early part of next year. Anyway, renewing our country is the main event. Amen. That, we've got to fix the country and take it back to a republic, or otherwise the United States is doomed. And I believe if the United States is doomed, the whole world is going to follow suit. Support Stephen Bassett's drive for ET disclosure through social media. Okay, I would love to see the ETs not only be disclosed, but start working with humanity for the good of humanity, and start using their superior technology that supposedly exists to shut down and make it clear that they're shutting down the militarization, not only of the military forces, but of the police departments, and just shut off the damn weapons that are being used to destroy each other, including the mind control weapons and the frequency weapons and the invisible weapons and the biological weapons and all of the other weapons that neutralize this crap, neutralize the radioactivity that's being poured out by Fukushima, neutralize the pollution of the oil spills in our bodies of water around the world, neutralize and stop the fracking and stop the poisoning by chemicals of our lands and our water on the land. Stop these crap. The main event is stopping the criminality of corporations. And that can be done by the ETs. Can it? Can't it? That's what some of us think. Set up a new charity with clear objectives, then crowdfund it. I think that the family, if they really want to help humanity, the family needs to be funding and encouraging people to fund things that work for the good of humanity, like free energy, like healing technologies that use energy and other things, and use natural substances instead of artificially created substances that also have side effects. There's lots of things that can be funded, and it shouldn't just be a charity. It should be a public service given freely to everybody, because they don't need the money from us, folks. They have all the wealth, right? If they're going to use it for good, they're going to use it for good. If they're not going to use it for good, they're not going to use it for good. Skype rooms with the relocation objective, I have no clue what that's about. I have no clue. Skype has been horrible lately. I mean, I use it pretty much every day. And I mean, I've called the ambassador. He doesn't get a ring. He's called me. I don't get a ring. I don't get notified. Lots of times the signal is poor. Skype sucks, and it's getting worse. So that one I don't get. relaunched Swiss Indo's. Swiss Indo had lots of good ideas, folks. Lots of good ideas. The problem was there were people that had infiltrated Swiss Indo that worked for the OMD in Europe, and it was never what we thought it was. We were lied to. But it had a lot of good ideas, and it had a lot of good people, good visionaries with good visions on what we need to do to fix the world. Yes, implement them. And the financial incentives, there should be a financial incentive to every human being on the planet that the family or those who control the wealth are going to guarantee the basic essentials of living on this planet to every human being just because they're a human being. And they're going to have a basic wage or stipend that's going to be provided so that they don't have to struggle, so that creativity can be released, so that the effort can be put into what people love, and we can actually change the whole, not just the structure, but the whole attitude of how we live our lives. No longer in fear, but in openness and in the willingness to share and the willingness to learn and to grow and to evolve together. And now we get to the second set, number 11, form of Skype. Prayer, I pray all the time. And I'm not going to put down prayer. But prayer is only going to be effective if God, or whoever we're praying to, answers it. And to me, in my life, some of the most important prayers, the most desperate prayers, remained unanswered. That has to stop. So yeah, pray. And pray in mass is a good thing. Pray with a common objective. And say to God, look, if you're really God, answer our prayer. You promised, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened to you. Call on me and I will show you great and mighty things. Well, do it. Don't just promise it, do it. And number 11. That was number 11. Number 12, make videos on individual ideas. Well, every one of my videos shares certain ideas. Now, you say there's repetition, of course, because there's new people coming in all the time. And there are issues that are still not completely resolved for me. So I'm going to bring them up again and again and again. I'm sorry about that, but that's the nature of it. Make and record protest music and share it on my channel. I'd love to encourage, not just on my channel, but I'd love to encourage creativity and music that is protest music, is music that tells the truth that's not being told elsewhere, because music does carry a message very well. And number 14, again, the RFD with Max Egan. I love Max Egan's messages. I relate to them a lot. Not 100%. I don't even relate to my own 100%. And I don't know who this RFD is, as I said. I got a chuckle out of it when I was trying to figure it out. And Ron could start or use a forum and encourage commentary. All of my videos are a forum. It's a vlog, a video log, and it's a forum. And people can comment. I don't always comment on everybody's comments. I think I read everything. I don't think I skip anything and read it if I get notified of it. And there are lots of times I just let threads take their own course. You know, people comment back and forth with each other, and this is a good thing. Anyway, those are some suggestions, and if you have other suggestions, send them to me. Send them to paradoxman@cfl.rr.com. That's my primary email address. And anyway, as I said at the beginning of this, I'm going to be doing another video with the ambassador on what are you going to tell your children. I'm going to be doing that later today, and tomorrow morning I'll be doing one with Aristo. But once again, I do thank you for listening and for your support in listening, and your comments and your prayers and your good wishes, and even sometimes your criticism is okay. Namaste.